So here we go, everybody. Welcome to the very first Rossco Recap the Show, where I bring you 5 takeaways or more from Town's most recent game, which of course was the 4-0 win against non-league Buxton in the second round of the FA Cup at Portman Road on a Sunday at 5 p.m, which was very weird indeed. It was rainy, it was cold, but I hope everyone had their roast dinner beforehand or afterwards to celebrate, because we're in the third round of the FA Cup for the first time in a long time. We've seen us lose in second round replays, knocked out in the first round, but we are in the hat for the third round, which is good to see. But let's get right into my takeaways then. And the first one is simple, isn't it? So yeah, job done. That is it, really. Town did what they needed to do. McKenna didn't muck about. He went very strong. Christian Walton started in goal. We saw Wes Burns, Connor Chaplin, Sam Morsey starting him in field, Cameron Burgess. It was a strong lineup, and that's what I like to see. And I think they just did what they needed to do. Of course, it did take a while for them to break down the Buxton defence. They played 5 at the back, and they were doing pretty well defensively, Buxton. But they were always going to be beaten at some stage. And, of course, Connor Chaplin opened the scoring. Then Gassam Hadmi made it 2. Then the second half, a lot of changes by McKenna, which we'll get into later, of course. That is my other takeaway. But, yeah, 2 other goals in the second half. Connor Chaplin with the pick of the bunch. And then Caden Jackson running off the win to win 4-0. But yeah, that's the first takeaway. Just job done. Professional performance from Town. Boom. So second takeaway has to be on Connor Chaplin. 2 goals for Chappers. And it's actually been a while since his first goal. 12 games to be exact, which I was surprised when I saw that stat. He scored a few goals, of course, at the start of the season. He scored a few goals last season. But this season, he's had a few little patches where he hasn't been able to score goals. And we are now needing players like Connor Chaplin to step up, because we're getting a lot of injuries. Marcus Harness out injured. But he has said in the past he's had purple patches of not scoring and scoring. But we need him to step up now. And it was good to see 2 goals from him, and 2 really good normal Connor Chaplin goals, by the way. Trademark Connor Chaplin goals. Definitely his second one. But yeah, good to see him back on the score sheet, and hopefully more to come from him. So the next takeaway is on Ghassan Hadmi. His first goal for the club. He's off the mark in his first start. Of course, he's been up and down since signing for the club. Signed on deadline day, made a few sub-appearances, then got injured, but he's made his return. Played against Exeter, then starts against Buxton and scores. It wasn't the classic of goals, but you've got to take that. And I think we need to score more like that, where we just bundle the ball into the net, because why not? Of course, I want to see a 30-yard screamer, but sometimes you want to see them sort of goals. And I'm sure Ghassan Hadmi doesn't care how it went in. He scored, and hopefully many more to come from him. And he's definitely a very different striker to what we've got at the club. And hopefully he can really push on from this. And as I said, like Connor Chaplin, we need players like Ghassan Hadmi to get involved, score some goals, and hopefully more to come from him. Let's see what he does. Okay, then the next takeaway is on plan subs. Of course, Kieran McKenna, I'm sure, had a game plan on different players he was going to use and give minutes to. Leif Davis probably was never going to play full 90 minutes in this game. Also likely Sam Morsey, Cameron Humphreys, and those sort of players. And we saw that, of course, at half-time. We saw Leif Davis, Cameron Humphreys come off. Tawanda Chwewa, Albi Armin came on. We also saw Matt Ward come on as well. Another, Wes Burns came off as a precaution. But yeah, it's good to see some young players come on, get a few more minutes. Definitely Tawanda Chwewa, who's been scoring for fun for the under-23s. And I've always been impressed by him when I watch those reserve games. But for him to get some really good minutes in the FA Cup game, I know he's playing against a Buxton side, but it's an opportunity for him to get some minutes, to see what he can do. And he may need to be an option with all the injuries we've got. The Marcus Harness injury, the Greg Lee injury, is going to have an option in that. And I'm sure we're going to see more youngsters on the bench, because at the moment, we are stretched. But yeah, it was good to see Kieran McKenna could use those sort of planned substitutions at the right time when we were 2-0 up at half-time. And I'm sure he was pretty pleased with 2-0 up, because just in case it was still 0-0 at half-time, you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to be able to use these subs. But he was able to, and we got some good minutes from everybody. The final takeaway is actually praising the Buxton fans. I really thought they were really vocal and loud during the game. And for a 5 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday, 500 plus they brought, I thought that was a pretty good effort from them. So I just wanted to praise them pretty much. I think they deserved that. They've actually vocal in some League One clubs that come to Portman Road. So big up them. Hope they have a good rest of the season. Good to see Tommy Miller on the touchline as well. It's sort of surreal now seeing former players you watched when you were a kid and now being a manager at football clubs. You're seeing that often now in loads of different leagues. But yeah, it was great to see Tommy Miller, and all the best to Buxton. And yeah, that is it. Rossco recap number 1 done. Hope you've enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on the series as a whole so far. Of course, up next for Town is back to League One action as they host Fleetwood Town on Friday. I'll see you all then. Bye-bye for now.